Welcome to African Today, the voice of a changing continent. We bring you the stories shaping Africa's present and future, from breaking news and bold analysis to culture, innovation, and voices on the ground. We're here to inform, inspire, and amplify the heartbeat of Africa every single day. Thank you for stopping by the channel. We hope you enjoy our video. Let's begin. At only 37 years old, Ibrahim Traore is one of the most discussed leaders in Africa and the world. He is currently the youngest president serving today. His path to power was unusual. He took charge through a military coup in 2022, replacing Burkina Faso's former leader. However, what makes Traore truly different is not just how he became president, but what he is doing now. Traore is taking bold steps, such as rejecting outside influence and making significant changes in healthcare, agriculture, and mining. He believes in solving problems locally, promoting self-reliance, and putting the needs of the people first. His serious, focused, and deeply committed style of leadership is getting attention across Africa and worldwide. So who exactly is Ibrahim Traore? Let's take a closer look at the man behind the revolution. Early life and education. Ibrahim Traore was born on March 14, 1988, in the village of Kera, located in Muhun Province in western Burkina Faso. He grew up in a simple environment and attended primary school in his village before going to Bobo Dioulasso for high school. His teachers and classmates described him as quiet but very smart. In 2006, Traore began studying geology at the University of Ouagadougou. While at university, he joined two student groups, the Association of Muslim Students and the Association Nationale des Étudiants du Burkina, ANEB, a group that supported Marxist ideas. In ANEB, Traore strongly defended other students' rights and became a student representative. He graduated with high marks, already showing the discipline and determination that would later become key to his leadership. A soldier with purpose, Traore's military journey. Traore joined the Army of Burkina Faso in 2009, training at the Georges Namoano Military Academy. His talent and promise quickly earned him additional training in Morocco, where he specialized in anti-aircraft defense. He returned home and joined an infantry unit stationed in Kaya, a region in northern Burkina Faso that faced heavy militant activity. In 2014, Traore was promoted to lieutenant and served with the United Nations peacekeeping mission, MINUSMA, in Mali. He became known for his courage, particularly during challenging battles with rebels in the Timbuktu area. After returning to Burkina Faso, Traore participated in important anti-terrorism operations such as the Otopuanu offensive in 2019 and campaigns in Djibo and other conflict areas. He was promoted to captain in 2020, which became a critical point for him. At this time, he began to question the country's leadership. Traore openly criticized the government for failing to support soldiers properly. He spoke against corruption, poor equipment, and how politicians lived comfortably while soldiers risked their lives. His leadership among frontline soldiers made him a key figure for those unhappy with the government, setting the stage for future changes. Rise to power, the coup that changed everything. By early 2022, Burkina Faso faced growing instability. Islamist militants were advancing, and citizens lost faith in the military government led by Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba. Soldiers on the front lines were increasingly frustrated, including Captain Ibrahim Traore. In January 2022, Traore supported the coup that initially brought Damiba into power. However, within months, Traore and other soldiers felt betrayed because Damiba did not effectively handle the insurgency crisis. Traore reportedly tried convincing Damiba to focus on frontline issues, but after this failed, he and other young officers decided to take action themselves. On September 30, 2022, Traore led another coup, this time against Damiba. Although still a captain, other officers quickly recognized him as a courageous leader with a clear vision. Supported by special units like the elite Cobra forces, the coup succeeded swiftly. A few days later, on October 6, 2022, Traore officially became president and head of state. At first, he promised elections in July 2024, but later decided that security must improve first, delaying the democratic transition until the country becomes stable again. Leadership style and vision more than a soldier. President Traore's leadership combines discipline, clear beliefs, and practical action. Known for being quiet, he leads firmly and has built the image of a war president focused on fighting terrorism and rebuilding Burkina Faso from scratch. People see him as serious and formal, rarely publicly showing personal emotions. But behind this disciplined image, he has clear ideas. Pan-Africanism and independence. Traore strongly supports Pan-African ideas, encouraging African unity and independence from Western control. He refuses to depend on foreign aid and prefers fair partnerships with countries like Russia and Turkey rather than France or the IMF. Real needs over symbolic acts. One of Traore's most respected actions was turning down Saudi Arabia's offer to build 200 mosques. Instead, he asked them to invest in schools, hospitals, and businesses to create jobs, showing that practical development matters more to him than symbolic gestures. Putting people first. Under his leadership, the government started building 1,000 homes for people displaced by conflicts. He reorganized public works to ensure all construction projects meet high safety, environmental, and technical standards. Traore aims for Burkina Faso to become self-sufficient by developing local industries, agriculture, and energy resources. His message to the world is clear: we don't need more donations, we need dignity, productivity, and control of our own future. 5. Rebuilding a nation. Reforms in healthcare, agriculture, and the economy. Since becoming president in 2022, Ibrahim Traore has introduced important reforms focused on essential needs in healthcare, food, housing, and economic independence. While the world discusses his political actions, many people in Burkina Faso are experiencing real improvements. Healthcare, bringing medicine to people. In Burkina Faso, many rural areas lack hospitals or medical care. President Traore's government introduced mobile clinics to reach remote communities. These clinics include 36 vehicles, with 13 refrigerated to deliver vaccines and medicines safely. 3 new oxygen production units for emergency care. 11 cold storage rooms and 1,900 solar-powered refrigerators to keep vaccines safe in areas without electricity. 835 digital tablets to improve medical records and enable telemedicine. A large program offering free cataract surgery, helping 4,000 people regain their sight. Traore's healthcare plan is not only about treating illnesses, but also about creating a modern, accessible, and sustainable health system. Agriculture, modern farming with new tools and seeds. Burkina Faso is heavily agricultural, yet many farmers still use manual labor. Traore aims to modernize farming, distributing 400 tractors for free to farmers, significantly changing agriculture. Providing free seeds and fertilizers to increase crop production. Personally engaging with farmers, planting crops, and promoting farming as a way out of poverty. This agricultural initiative aims to improve food security, create jobs, and provide dignity through farming. Economic growth, developing mining and industries for the people. President Traore's administration is promoting local ownership and economic growth through significant actions. Opening Burkina Faso's first gold refinery in 2023. Able to process 400 kilograms of gold daily. Creating 100 direct jobs and 5,000 indirect jobs. Keeping gold profits within the country. Stopping export permits for small-scale gold miners in 2024. Reducing gold smuggling and tax evasion. Improving regulation and transparency in mining. Rejecting aid from the IMF to focus on internal economic development by supporting local textile industries, training entrepreneurs, and improving access to loans. Building key infrastructure, such as 1,000-unit housing projects and new schools and hospitals. Traore's economic vision is clear. Africa should no longer export raw materials and poverty, but should instead export valuable products and innovations. From France to Russia, a foreign policy revolution. One of President Ibrahim Traore's most discussed actions was moving Burkina Faso away from France, its former colonial power, and creating new relationships with countries like Russia and Turkey. This decision wasn't just symbolic, and it changed how the world views Burkina Faso. Ending ties with France. In February 2023, Traore's government removed French military forces who had been helping fight terrorism. He clearly stated, "We want partnerships based on equality, but not control." This decision reflected growing frustration in the Sahel region, where many people felt French involvement wasn't effectively addressing terrorism or poverty. Building connections with Russia and Turkey. After cutting ties with France, Traore's government strengthened relations with Russia and Turkey by reopening the Russian embassy, closed since 1992, attending the Russia and Africa Summit and openly supporting Russia, welcoming Russian military advisors and Wagner-linked soldiers in early 2024, although Traore emphasizes that local defense groups, VDP, are his primary focus. Increasing military and trade cooperation with Turkey as an alternative to Western aid. Creating a new regional alliance. Traore proposed forming a federation with neighboring Mali and Guinea, both also led by military governments. If successful, this alliance would become Africa's largest junta-led group, emphasizing Pan-African unity and rejecting external interference. Wider implications. Traore's decisions show his belief that Africa must decide its own future, independent of European or Western models. However, this shift has created some challenges. Reduced or halted Western aid. Questions from the international community about his commitment to democracy. Limited coverage in Western media about his reforms. Despite these issues, many people in Burkina Faso and across Africa see Traore as a courageous leader standing up for national independence. Private life, a family man behind the uniform. President Ibrahim Traore is known worldwide for his military leadership and political decisions, but he keeps his personal life very private. Unlike many famous people who share details about their families online, Traore prefers to keep his loved ones away from public attention. However, many people remain curious about his wife and children. His wife, a quiet supporter. Although not much is publicly known about his wife, Traore is married. She has been described as a supportive person who stood by him throughout his life and from his days as a student, then a soldier, and now as president. She plays an important role behind the scenes, helping manage family life and providing emotional support while he handles the stressful responsibilities of leading the country. Children. Protected from public attention. President Traore and his wife reportedly have several children, but their names and pictures have not been shared publicly. Unlike some leaders who include their families in public events, Traore carefully keeps his children out of the media spotlight. Despite his busy schedule, he is known to be closely involved in his children's lives. He values spending quality family time and wants his children to grow up with strong values even during challenging political times. Balancing public life and family privacy. Being a public figure during tense political times means Traore's family faces safety concerns and public interest. To protect his family, he clearly separates his personal life from his professional life. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to help grow the channel. Until next time, see you soon.